applauding this beautiful human being who has started a tradition in the most beautiful building in our country that is your building, my building, our building. And this is a tradition that will live on far beyond the careers of Rashida Tlaib and myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tony. I don't know, I think I told Tony the story. I used to be my mom's translator until I was 12 years old. We were going into Sears. How many of y'all remember Sears? Says yes. It was a department store for all of us young people. And I remember going up to the cashier, and if you're a child of immigrants and been a translator for your parents, you know this feeling. And I'm sitting there, you know, waiting for my mom to ask me what she wants me to ask the cashier. And, you know, she's asking about the pricing and so forth. And the cashier finally, like, looks at my mom and was like, you know, and then looks at me, a 12-year-old, and says, she needs to learn English. And I looked back, and the Southwest Detroit in me came out, so my head bopped a little bit, and I said, excuse me, but I'm not translating what you're saying to my mother. She understands you. I'm translating what she wants to say to you, because people like you don't allow her to be fully herself. And say, you know, I was 12 years old. I remember my mom dragging me from the, like, she dropped all the clothes, dragged me from the cashier's area counter, and she goes, this is the last time we ever go to this Sears. And I just want you all to know, I've been very much that mama bear, very protective of our community. And I love that Tony mentioned this, but I want you to know this. I am committed and going to work hard, and I hope my colleagues will have my back. But we deserve to have a recognition and a reception in the White House. And so next year I'm hoping that we can have a celebration at the White House and supporting Arab American Heritage Month. So thank you again, all of you, especially Arab American Foundation for really pushing and really giving me inspiration to do this. So we got a firecracker in this last wave of new members. She is a firecracker. I want to call you that because I don't know why. I just feel like this is sparks all around you. And she dances a lot. And we like to dance in the Arab American community, Becca. So you're more welcome to dance with us always. But she comes from the state of Vermont, and her name is Becca Plant. So welcome her to the Arab American Heritage Nation.
I clearly should have worn my heels. My message to you is really simple. We are at a time right now when we need more compassion. We need more genuine conversations between neighbors. And when I first came in to Congress, you asked the folks from your delegation, what are all these people about? And they give you the thumbnail. And here's what I heard about Rashida. She is fierce and she is kind. That she, in some ways, is the mama bear to the caucus. And I saw that in the way that she welcomed me. And the through line for me, as a member of Congress, and before that, a member of my legislature, and before that, a middle school teacher, has always been the through line of how do we alleviate suffering. That should be our charge as members of Congress. How do we alleviate suffering? And my grandfather, Leopold, he was killed in the Holocaust in the last few weeks of the war on a forced march from Mauthausen concentration camp, trying to outrun the Allies. And I learned at a very early age that democracies don't fail overnight. And they fail little by little as rights are eroded, as norms are upended, as people are attacked and scapegoated. And that, unfortunately, is what we see right now in this country. And I don't believe it's hyperbole to say we must be vigilant to protect this democracy. So I want to tell you, I could not be more proud to serve with Rashida and to count her as a friend. I know that when I follow her, things happen. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Becca. All the way from Virginia, very far. How many of y'all from Virginia? Yay, yes. So one member from from our delegation, the Virginia delegation is here, and she came in with our amazing diverse class. Was it the highest number, Abigail? Was it the largest number of women? I think so. I told you Becca loves the Turcos Day, man. Abigail Spanberger from Virginia 7.
I am really excited to be here with all of you, and especially the Virginians, to celebrate this wonderful month. I have the incredible honor of representing vibrant communities and vibrant Arab American communities. And I want to thank Congresswoman Talib for her work in recognizing and always being an advocate for all voices, and including the voices of her mother and her grandmother and her family. If anyone needs to know just how hardworking Rashida is, please look at the shoes she chooses to wear. There's great functionality in being able to zip through the Capitol. And I say that with pride as her classmate, in recognition of how fierce and focused she is. And truly, when I look back on the reasons that I ran for Congress, the actual first time I ran and was elected in 2018, the first time I ever considered running for Congress was the day that the president pushed out the travel ban. And I went to a town hall a couple days later, and the man I would later defeat defended it. He said it was good. He said it was important. He said it was important to national security. And as a former national security professional, I had worked at CIA, I knew that what he was saying was wrong, it was divisive, it was hurtful, and it alienated an entire group of people who for so long have been so vital to our communities, as have all of our diaspora communities. And I had a very simple moment of saying, wow, he's really, really wrong, and he's using a voice, a profound and important voice that comes with this title, to hurt people and to make little kids on school buses scared because they're different, or because they translate at the Sears or the Macy's or the grocery store for their parents. And there's an entire generation of kids who get to look at Congresswoman Talib and Congresswoman Omar and other members of the United States Congress who themselves grew up in that dual role, grew up recognizing the beauty and the importance of the place that their parents had come from or that they came from, and wanted to give back to this country. We are richer for it. And hopefully there are many children, certainly I know they're across my district, who look at you as a role model. And I'm just grateful for the continued